Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction. Today, guys, I'm checking out top 10 best battles, best fights from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I put out a tweet earlier this morning along with a post on the community tab on my YouTube channel saying, hey, give me some suggestions. I'm going to put out a poll on Patreon in a little bit, a couple hours. So give me some suggestions I can put on that poll so you guys have a good variety or whatever. And I put out the poll on Patreon, and as you guys can see here, there was a good variety of stuff, and I honestly wasn't surprised that this video won over the others. Now, the other options that are on there that didn't win will eventually be picked at some point, but I just wanted to give you guys the option to pick on what video comes out today, and this is the one you guys voted on, so it's pretty exciting, because I haven't talked about Avatar: The Last Airbender in quite some time. The only time I really talk about it at this point is whenever I have to reference it during an episode of Korra, whether the show references it, or if I bring it up because I'm like, well, what they did in Korra kind of reminds me of this in Avatar, so I bring it up or whatever, and yeah, this is going to be fun to go through and see what they like. Mike, I kind of guess what number one's gonna be, but the other ones I'm not really sure, because there's quite a number to pick from, but we'll see, because based off where they start, I can kind of start thinking in my head, okay, then this is gonna happen at some point, and they're gonna put this here or whatever, but I'm curious to see what number 10 is, and then I have a pretty good idea what number 1 is, because at that point, once we see number 10, we'll kind of get an idea of how they're basing the fights, maybe off of the terms of what's happening currently in the story when this fight happens, or if it's all based on how intense the fight is, like how long it lasts, or any number of things. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. So without further ado, let's get into now and see this ranking and to go through this. I'm going to be pausing throughout to hopefully help with potential blocking with footage being used here. So here we go, guys. Top 10 best fights Avatar: The Last Airbender. Let's get into it and see how this list is, and discuss the show and discuss these amazing fights. Let's go. That spin. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna pause real quick. That face. I like that this is number 10, honestly, because it's a mixture of what I was mentioning in the intro. It's a mixture of the intensity of this fight, but also it's the story, because this woman, she's acting all nice, and they're like, oh, so she's being all secretive, and they break into that room. And then over the course of time, she's teaching Katara how to do some stuff, you know, just like, you gotta do more with your bending, essentially, just leading her into blood bending. And man, this fight really just hits you hard, because Katara's standing up to her, someone who's been a waterbender all her life, and Katara's still a kid, teen, whatever, you get my point. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, that was good. Okay. I love that. God. Azula. I haven't said that in a while. Azula. Sorry, buddy. He's like, what? Oh, man. The Thing. He became the Thing. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. We're going with Zuko being the blue spirit. Interesting. I honestly wasn't expecting this on the list. I wasn't. But I'm actually kind of glad it is, because for a little bit I'm thinking, who the fuck is this person? But hey, they're saving Aang, so it's got to be somebody, right? And honestly, in my head, as it was going on, before the reveal of who it was, I'm thinking, this is a new character who's going to be popping in and out or whatever, like this masked character that we're not going to, like, I'm starting to think in my head, I was watching them, so like, oh, okay, this is like a masked, no, it's Zuko. Crazy shit. I like the fact that I was thinking all this stuff and I wasn't thinking Zuko. So, surprise this is on the list, but I'm not going to complain. That was awesome. God, just watching this, we're not even getting in the top 5 or whatever, and I'm just like getting all hyped again. This fucking show. He's a helicopter. Everyone, Azula versus everybody.
I thought you guys could use a little help. Thanks.
Nice. Well, even though she's doing a lot of doing a lot of dodging or whatever,
Well,
it was cool to see her take on everybody.
All working together.
Ooh, okay. Nice choice. Nice choice. Close but no cigar. Woo! Jesus Christ. The music. A wheel of blue flame. I think if she would have not dodged that, this fight would have drastically changed. Really? Oh my God. What? Number 5? I was not expecting this. Really? Appa fighting them? I was not expecting this at all. But damn it, I still get mad thinking about this because Appa is a gentle creature. He's like our best friend. And they pull at your heartstrings with this shit. God damn, I was not expecting this. Holy crap. He did not deserve this. This makes me think about how in Korra there's a lot more flying bison, and it's really cool to see that because Appa was the only one that we saw with those flashbacks in Avatar. This shit was good too. He's like, okay. A lot of Azula. I'm fine with that because Azula had some of the best fights in the show. I love this so much. Fucking Aang. God damn it. Now look, not trying to bring down the other show, but let's be honest. Korra hasn't been doing a lot of this shit. Where Korra, like, as of right now, because I'm still currently on the back half of book 2. But right now, Korra hasn't been doing like this on-the-fly thinking shit and using her bending to do protection like that. You know what I'm saying? So, come on. We got to start having this because you are the next Avatar after Aang. You got to start doing more of this shit. Because, man, this really set a bar. And maybe that's why a lot of people think that Korra is not a good show. Because the high-level bar that Avatar, The Last Airbender set. Maybe that's the case. But for me, I'm enjoying Korra so far for what it is. But I gotta admit, Avatar The Last Airbender fucking destroys Korra because of how fucking epic it gets. But I'm liking Korra. I really am. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be reacting to it. But goddamn, this was smart on Aang's part. So smart. And I thought this was going to end differently. I thought he was going to be able to stop that, but man, and that didn't kill him. Okay. I'm not complaining. This was during the ending of the show. They really... Yeah. She's okay. It was so intense. So intense. Ooh, man.
No lighting today?
Okay.
What's the matter? Afraid I'll redirect it?
I know what number 1 is based off this being number 2. This fight, now look. If the Aang versus Fire Lord Ozai fight was not as epic as it was, but I'm glad that it was because it needed to be. But if it wasn't, this would have been number 1. Because we have been building to this forever. Not as much as Aang versus the Fire Lord, but you get my point. This whole slowly building up with flashbacks and just setting up everything and just kind of inching towards this fight between Zuko and Azula. God, it was so good. Honestly, my hope is that the Avatar live action show on Netflix is able to achieve some greatness. Not saying it's going to be better than the animated version. I don't think anything will touch in terms of the excellence of the animated show. But if they can pull off some of the best parts of this show in live action, I really hope they can pull this off, because the Azula-Zuko relationship is so damn important to this show. They better work extra hard. Even though it's the same creators of Avatar working on the live action version, I understand that. But it's a different type of feel when it's live action versus animated. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference in storytelling. So hopefully they can pull this off. I'm not doubting they can't. I'm just saying I hope they can pull this off, because man, this was such a beautiful and epic and intense moment all at once. So good.
I'll show you
And
lightning.
Azula was losing her fucking mind too. Oh my god. Yes. It's that look over where things change. Now, they had to have Zuko do that, but imagine if he didn't make it and that hit her and Katara died. They wouldn't do that, I'm just saying. God. I gotta pause. I'll find a better pause. There you go. That's a better pause. This fucking... So good. So good. The fact that they showed how strong Aang can actually be at this point is phenomenal. Because he was getting his ass handed to him. And they spun it around. 180 flip. But they didn't do it right away. They had it where they were kind of evenly matched, and then Fire Lord was like, tipped the scale. Aang tipped that shit right back. Stop. Ah, God. Just watching this makes me want to have another animated show, but just them growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the flashbacks or whatever we got in Korra with older Aang in them. I want to see that as a show. Look at that. That shit.
Fire Lord Ozai, you and your forefathers have devastated the balance of this world. Now we shall pay the ultimate price.
Okay. That was good.
Nick,
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it was a Nick Rewind video. Such good shit. No complaining. I was surprised by some of the choices. Surprised by the Appa trying to get away from being stolen. Was not expecting that. The airship battle. Good choice. Good choice. And a lot of Azula. No complaints there, because a lot of intense fights with her character. And honestly, the more I think about it too, in terms of how they introduced her, because she is such an integral part of the show, and they held off for Fire Lord Ozai. Blah. They could have easily introduced Fire Lord Ozai way sooner, but they held off. Like that, he was seen and heard throughout the show, but kind of behind the shadows. You know what I mean? But they could have revealed his look and done a lot more with him way sooner, but they held off. But with Azula, they waited till I think the end of book 1 is when they introduced her for the first time in a cameo. No, they showed her in that flashback sequence. But they didn't really dive into showing her until book 1, episode 1. Oh, book 2, episode 1, not book 1. Book 2, episode 1. Can't fucking talk today. So, intense. The show is just so good. So good. And the fact that the movie is just, oh. But now we're getting the live action version, essentially, because it's the same creators. The same creators behind the animated version is now making this. Now, my question is this. I know this is an Avatar video, but it relates. If Avatar The Last Airbender live action Netflix is successful, and they're able to tell the same story, or maybe, because I have a sneaking suspicion, they'll add more, maybe. Because if Netflix gives them multiple seasons, or gives them the green light to do the show and adapt it to live action, maybe with some tweaks here or there just to add in more stuff, then what if they do a live action Korra and they change up that story? Because you never know. This could, because the live action version could be a different reimagining in a sense where some things are altered to where this is a different timeline. Like some of the same things stay the same. You get my point, they could do that, but I don't know if they'll be that risky, but you never know. But this was awesome to kind of go back and rewatch some of the epic, intense fights in Avatar. It really is such a beautiful show. It really is. I miss watching it. I really do. It sucks that it ended, but at the same time, I think it ended on a good note. It really did. So there you have it, guys. That is my reaction. That's my thoughts about the top 10 fights, battles, whatever, in Avatar The Last Airbender. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this video. Let me know in the comment section below. What are some of your favorite fights, and what are some of the things you thought was going to be in this list that was not in this list? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. I will talk to you guys soon.